Hi guys, how's it going? This is Professor Shako, and today we are here with a Week 5 battle for APA Ascension Season 3. Our opponents for the week are the Atlanta Raichus, coached by Coach Playmaker. Um, we are 3-1 at the moment, and we're looking to pick up a win to keep that momentum going and go into the mid-season 4-1 and be in like the top half of the playoff spot if possible, because our schedule is significantly tougher for the last half of the season, so we want to have the best shot at making playoffs and potentially getting a bye. It's important to pick up a win here. So yeah, without much further ado, let's jump into the matchup. Our opponent's roster consists of Jolteon, Azelf, Jirachi, Mega Charizard X, Murkrow, Suicune, Sylveon, Donphan, Cradily, Ariados, and Snorlax. So, they actually had Celesteela, but they traded it the week before for a Jirachi, which works out really nicely for me because initially I was not even going to bring Excadrill just because Celesteela like hard walls it, and I don't have a Gravity Mon on my roster to abuse Celesteela. But the moment they put Jirachi, I was like, oh, Excadrill's back in business. But yeah, as for threats on their side, Charizard X is the biggest threat. If it sets up 2 DDs, I think it's game over. Like, I can't really do anything. And even then, if it's just SD, it's like getting a kill and then I have to go Tyranitar. Basically sack that off and then go Excadrill to revenge it. Like, that's my best way of beating that thing. So yeah, really scary. Jirachi can always be annoying with like Body Slam, Paralysis with Iron Head. It's a pretty decent Lati check, so I expect it to be like Spadef to check Latios. Jolteon I don't really see coming. It can't really touch Excadrill now that it doesn't have hidden power. Suicune is probably their only Earthquake resist, like only thing that doesn't get 2-hit KO'd by Earthquake if it's like max physical bulk. So I expect that to come 100%, probably with like Wish, probably with Restock, Scald, and then maybe Ice Beam to hit Latios. Sylveon probably comes as well, can check Latios, can pass Wishes to Suicune and Snorlax, even to Jirachi or Charizard X. Donphan probably comes as removal. Their only other removal is Murkrow, which I don't really see coming, especially because I can block it with Tyranitar. Snorlax, another pretty good like bulky sponge, and if it curses up, it could probably even take on Excadrill and stuff. It's one of the best Mega Pidgeot checks for him, so I'm 100% expecting that to come. So the 6 I expect to come are like Jirachi, Charizard X, Suicune, Sylveon, Donphan, and Snorlax. Could see a Zelf coming. Maybe could see Web Gyarados coming, but then they don't have a spin blocker, so I can spin with Excadrill pretty freely. A Zelf could come probably because it's like scary, fast, can rocks, like lead. So yeah, but we have ways around it. Like our Excadrill, as I said, pretty good. The only resist is like Suicune. Sure, Azelf can switch in, but it doesn't really want to take an Iron Head in from Excadrill, especially at +2. Latios is decent. Like, it needs to be Size Shock to like Combine Size Shock can like help with Suicune. Kind of helps with Snorlax as well, which is Spadef. Mystical Fire can help it like kind of check Jirachi and Azelf too. And of course, they can always threaten on Charizard X. Tyranitar is pretty good for Sand. They don't really have the best like crunch switch-ins, and like if Sylveon comes in, it doesn't really want to take a Stone Edge after. Donphan I guess can come, but then Donphan doesn't have recovery, so it's easy to chip it down. Vikavolt pretty decent as well. They don't really like, other than Charizard X, they don't really deal with this super well. But anyway, let's go into the team builder to see the team I brought. First of all, I have Excadrill. This was not going to be on my team, as I said, but the moment I heard there's no Celesteela anymore, I put this thing instantly. Soft Sand, so that our Earthquake is powered up. Because frankly, I just need to click Earthquake, yeah, versus most of the team. Source Stance, so as I said, Excadrill forces switches, so we can Source Stance on the switch and then basically kill everything. We need Suicune to be at like 70%, 70 to 75%, and then Earthquake would kill that. So yeah. Next up, we have RABOOT making its debut. I love this one. This is, yeah, one of my favorite middle stage evolutions of Evolution Line. It's running the Life Orb, and with enough speed to outspeed, I think to outspeed Adam and Zard by 1 point. It's running Taunt, so it's a pretty interesting set. Like, I'm running Life Orb, but which is just for low kick basically. But I'm running Super Fang. Super Fang, Flame Charge, low kick, and Taunt. The point is to bring it on like Jirachi, which will be scared of like Scarf, Flare Blitz, which would take it out. So we can Flame Charge on the switch as Suicune comes in. And then we can actually Super Fang it so that half of its health is gone, which helps up Excadrill later. And then we can taunt it if it tries to go for like Calm Mind or Sub or something. Low kick is there just for the Snorlax. This is one of our ways of like dealing with Snorlax after stacking something. Like low kick does like 80 or something percent to it. It's base 120 power, pretty strong. Yeah, but the main role of this is just to chip things in range for like Excadrill. I didn't run Flare Blitz because I didn't really want to take the chip, especially if like rocks were up plus Life Orb. So yeah, the main point was just I Flame Charge, and the taunt was to stop Zard from setting. And then, so if I taunt and they go for like a setup move and then I Super Fang it, that's really good for me. Yeah. Next up, we have Roselia with the Eviolite and bulky, like it's mixed bulky and some speed. I think to outspeed zero speed Sylveon, I think, or like something trying to creep my Roselia. What's the point? I'm running Toxic Spikes. They don't, like, the poison type is Gyarados, which I don't expect to come, and then Toxic Spikes are really nice for like Spark, Suicune, Sylveon, Snorlax. Giga Drain is for the Suicune. This is like my primary Suicune check. Stun Spore is to catch a Zard or Jirachi on the switch and like cripple them, and Sludge Bomb is just nice neutral damage versus like Azelf, Charizard X, Sylveon, and stuff. Yeah, that's the set. Toxic Spikes would be really helpful this game, especially in chipping down Suicune. The main end game is I'm going for is to chip down Suicune so that Excadrill just can come in and win. As usual, like Sand is the main win con. Next up, we have Latios. And we're running a pretty interesting set this week. We're Weakness Policy, and we're a very bulky Lati. Like, we're outspeeding Jirachi by 2 points. Like, that's the speed we have to run. And then we're running almost max HP, a little bit of bulk. The special attack was to, like, Oko Sylveon at +3 with Psyshock. And the point of this is we Calm Mind up as they go Sylveon, or maybe even Suicune. Like, we bring this in on Suicune and we Calm Mind, and if they click Ice Beam, they activate our Weakness Policy and we get a +2 like boost to our special attack. And if the Sylveon is defensive, we can also Calm Mind up on that and activate a Weakness Policy that way and then beat Sylveon with Psyshock. I ran Psyshock over Stored Power just because I'm not running Agility, because I couldn't run Mono Stored Power because there's a Jirachi there. So I expect this to like weaken a Mon or two, and then I expect to switch out, save this, preserve its health, and bring it back in for like Suicune or something late game. Mystical Fire is just for the Jirachi. At +3, it doesn't really kill Spadef Jirachi, but unless he's like Body Slam, I can actually 1v1 it. Mystical Fire also helps me stay in versus like Azelf, which has like Gleam or something. And then if I Calm Mind up and then I Mystical Fire, I can also stall it out and have Boost for recovery. This set can also work set up on like Donphan with Knockoff if it's like physically bulky to take T-Tar. Next up, we have Tyranitar with the Smooth Rock. Smooth Rock again is support for Excadrill. We're Adamant. with a lot of attack, not really a lot of speed. Because I didn't like, I thought the Sylveon, I expect the Sylveon to be bulky, so, and not creep too much, and like just to check like Latios and Pidgeot and stuff, and to Wish Pass. So yeah, I didn't think of speed creeping. Also because defensive Sylveon should not be able to KO T-Tar and Sand just because T-Tar is so bulky. I'm running Crunch, which is pretty decent stab versus his team actually. His only resist is Sylveon, which doesn't really like a Stone Edge or Heavy Slam. Rocks, but I expect the Donphan to come in pretty easily and just spin them away. But if Donphan doesn't come, it's nice for a Zard, which has in Mega because it would take 50%, and if it has Mega, it's still taking 25%. Dragon Tail, just in case like something tries to set up like Snorlax or something. And if it just has Earthquake, it won't kill my T-Tar, and I can Dragon Tail it out. It tries to set up a Curse. It's like a last-ditch effort kind of thing. Next up, we have Vikavolt with the heavy-duty boots. Boots so we don't take rocks damage. Physically bulky. We have Volt Switch Bug Buzz, which is actually pretty good coverage versus him. Like, Donphan doesn't appreciate Bug Buzz, and if he takes damage on it, it's good for T-Tar and Drill again. Yeah. And Bug Buzz is again nice for like Jirachi, Azelf, Jolteon if it comes. T-Wave is just in case the Zard wants to set up on us, so we can stop that and neutralize its speed, which is good. And then T-Tar or Lati or something can revenge it. My Lati doesn't actually hit it, but they don't know that. And Roosters for the longevity. This can kind of come in. Roselia and Vikavolt also have to kind of check Sylveon between them, since I got Mystical Fire now, so Excadrill can't really switch in. So yeah, let's go. My lead was T-Tar. They didn't really have like a strong lead versus it. Like nothing can OHKO it in one hit. If they go Jirachi, oh, also Vikavolt is my Jirachi check. Jirachi can't really do a lot to this. Yeah, and if I lead T-Tar, if they lead Donphan, I can switch always. And yeah, if they lead Zard, Zard doesn't kill me in one hit, so it's forced to switch out and I can get my rocks up. So yeah. As you can, so let's jump into the match. As you can see, my opponent brought a team of Jirachi, Donphan, Suicune, Azelf, Snorlax, and Sylveon. First thing to notice, there is no Zardex. I was so scared of that mon and it didn't come, and I was really happy. Kind of made me complacent, but yeah, I was really happy. But also seeing no Zardex changed my lead a lot because now Vikavolt was actually looking a pretty decent lead. Like their best leads were probably Jirachi, Donphan, Azelf, and Vikavolt matched up pretty well versus them. Even like a lead Suicune, if it was like sub-toxic Protect or something, Vikavolt could like go in that, so that was pretty nice. So yeah, I thought my best lead was Vikavolt overall. I decided to lead off with Vikavolt, and they actually decided to lead off with Sylveon. Now, I know I live any hit from this, so I just thought, oh, I can Volt Switch freely here. There's probably like a defensive set. Maybe he thought he could pressure Tyranitar, so I just click Volt Switch, but he actually needs to be Specs with Mystical Fire, and I was like, oh, which is interesting because now my Vikavolt can't check Jirachi anymore, and I can't really roost up on anything, I feel, other than the Snorlax, but then I just become set up for the Snorlax, so my Vikavolt is basically useless this game. But we do get Volt Switch, and we do nothing because of the Mystical Fire drop, so this is probably max HP, max death, but max special attack, but revealing Specs means I can actually go T-Tar pretty easily, and just click Rocks. I click Rocks just in case they actually went Suicune first instead of Donphan. But they go Donphan, which is fair. I can just go Roselia here. I don't really have a switch. Like, if my Vikavolt was healthier, I would have gone into that, but here I was like, oh, I don't actually have a switch to Donphan. So this thing was kind of a problem. And I go Roselia, and yeah. Here I thought he would save this because, as I said, his T-Tar switch-ins are not the greatest. So if I Giga Drain here, this is like pulled down to its 30, and if he stays and tries to attack me, he's basically, I would get back to full, so he basically gave me Donphan for no reason. So I thought he would go hard Jirachi. He could have gone Snorlax, but like Lead Seed was fair play. So, or like he could have gone a Zelf maybe, but I thought he was going to switch, so I just went for Stun Spore to catch the Jirachi. But he actually just stays and then poison clicks knockoff, gets rid of my Eviolite, which is really unfortunate. Like he called me out, I guess. I'm not sure I agree with that play because if I Giga Drain, I get back to full and he didn't really get much out of the turn and he loses a T-Tar check. So yeah, I wasn't sure, but this really puts me in a bad start right away because my Vikavolt and my Roselia are like almost dead. But here, I expect him to click Earthquake, so I go Vikavolt. As he does click Earthquake, I can't really do much, so I was just basically sacking this at this point because I can't roost off versus anything. So he just clicks Rapid Spin and gets another speed boost. Good play by him. I decided this to go into my Latios safely because I know I can take any hit from this. Like based off the damage, this is like almost max physically defensive. So I just decided to Calm Mind here. As he actually clicks Knockoff and activates a weakness policy, which is really good now because they don't really have a switch into this. Here I make a very big misplay. So I calced wrong. I forgot to take off weakness policy from the calc. So I thought knockoff was still doing like 50, 55. And I thought with sand damage, it was doing like 60% and I couldn't roostall him out. But since I was bulky laddie and my item was gone, it was actually only doing like 35 to 40%, which means I could have roostalled it off and been healthier for like anything else coming in. So yeah, but because I miscalced, I thought I was gonna die to a, like I wouldn't be able to roostall his knock and then I would be in range of an Ice Shard. So I just decided to click Mystical Fire here and kill this thing. Which is still fine because now they don't have a T-Tar check and the T-Tar check becomes Suicune. So any damage on that is nice for Excadrill. So not too worried, but I'm pretty sure Laddie has to switch out now on whatever decides to come in. As he goes to Zelf, this can have Gleam obviously. So I switch out. As I said, I can always, since I'm Calm Mind Psyshock, I can actually come back in again on like Suicune and Roost and then Calm Mind up on it and Psyshock's still pretty free, Psyshock and Mystical Fire. So I decided to preserve Laddie and just go T-Tar. Azlav shouldn't be able to kill me in one hit. As he goes for Gleam, it does 31%. Yeah, he switches out here into Snorlax as I go for Crunch and get the defense drop, which is unfortunate for him, but I actually don't have low kick, so I can't take this out. So I just decided to get up my rocks. And just to see what he would do. And Rock's a nice chip for like Suicune and Sylveon as well, because I know Sylveon's spec, so it's not probably not clicking Wish. And again, Rock chip plus Sand chip on Suicune's always nice. I go Laddie, thinking he would go for another Earthquake, trying to kill my Excadrill, just because trying to kill my T-Tar, just so that I wouldn't have Sand for the rest of the game. But he actually reveals, he actually curses up, which is actually problematic. So I go hard Reboot, hoping he would get greedy versus my Laddie, because my Laddie can't actually like do anything because I can't trick it because I'm not Scarf. I've already shown I'm weakness policy. And since he cursed up, I actually couldn't do a lot of damage with Psyshock, and I needed to Roost first anyway. So I decided to go hard Reboot because I know I can take one hit from this. Unfortunately, we get paired, which is really unfortunate. He also shows he's not the Gluttony set, which is good to know because if he was Gluttony, I wouldn't actually kill with low kick, but now I still can. So I actually click low kick as he clicks curse. And we get full paired, which is really, really unfortunate. Luckily, he doesn't attack us, and gets greedy and goes for a curse, which works out perfectly for us because we can low kick and actually kill this thing because Reboot is strong and we have Life Orb, and we get Libero Reboot. So yeah, so Reboot did its job. It was here to like get some chip, but it did take down Snorlax, which is like, which was a massive threat with Curse versus my team. So I'm guessing this was Curse, Earthquake, Body Slam, Resto, Chesto. So getting rid of this thing is nice because if it rested up, I think I lost on the spot. So yeah, good job Reboot, helping us, not lose to the Lax immediately. I go Excadrill. I have one turn of Sand left. yeah, so I decided Excadrill was my play. They go Suicune, which is the right play by them, as I can't go Excadrill. Basically, if they went anything else, like I thought maybe Suicune comes out. Maybe the Sylveon comes out. So I went Drill, so I could punish that, but they made a good play and went Suicune. But here I can actually go Latios pretty freely, and because I don't expect them to Ice Beam, because if I Sword Stance and they're not fully bulky, I could kill them with an Earthquake. So I go Latios, and then I just Roost. If they Calm Mind up, which is a problem, but then they switch out, and I Calm Mind on my own. So I'm not really sure. Maybe throughout the Roselia was gonna come in on the Suicune when they showed Calm Mind, but like I could Calm Mind alongside the Suicune, and since I was bulky and I had Psyshock to hit on the physical side, I think I won the 1v1 with Suicune. So here I stayed in just to see what it was, like if it was Scarf or not. They go for Iron Head and get the crit, which is really unfortunate because now what this means is if I go T-Tar, I can never double into Lati because I will die to Sand. So I have to bring it in on after Amon has fainted so that I can roost up safely. So yeah, the flinch is fine, but the crit was really unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I can still win with Excadrill, I just have to play Sand correctly. Here I go to T-Tar to sack it and get... So basically this sack was like the best thing because I set up Sand and die immediately and not waste a turn. And now my Excadrill has like 7 turns of Sand all to itself, and he has to figure out a way to stall out 7 turns. Here, since I knew he was Scarf, I should have probably just gone for the SD. I knew I was faster than the stick, so he couldn't flinch me down. But the only thing was Suicune was still 100%, so I wasn't sure if +2 Earthquake would kill that thing. So, and if he went hard Suicune, Earthquake would have been like, tell me how much, like what percentage I needed to be to win with Drill. But he goes Azelf, stalls out of turn of Sand basically. I click Iron Head and get the crit. I believe this was a roll to kill, assuming it was just like 40 HP to outspeed max speed Lati, and like that's all the bulk he had, which was still a roll with like it's like 70 to 80%, so like a mid roll. But yeah, really unfortunate for him because I think he went for Fire Blast or Flamethrower, which would have done a lot of damage to my Drill. Wouldn't have killed it, but would have done a lot of damage for sure. And what that would have meant is I wouldn't have been able to switch into Sylveon like ever, even like on a Hyper Voice, because I would have died. But again, I believe it was a roll to kill, so like I'm not sure. But yes, sorry. Anyway, it goes Suicune now. I know I don't kill this thing, so I go Roselia, mostly to sack this off, or like, yeah, like here I click Stun Spore hoping they go into Jirachi, and they do. So I'm able to Stun Spore this, which is really good now because my Lati can also beat this if I Calm Mind up. They go for U-turn and go right back into Suicune, and since I can't go Drill, I actually just go straight into my Latios. They go Sylveon as I decide to Roost up, and now in my head this was a 50-50. If I switch and they go for Mystical Fire, they win. But if they go for Mystical Fire and I stay in, like that's a bad turn for them because they don't have recovery and I do, and I can still keep Psyshocking and I'm faster. So, and Mystical Fire wouldn't do a lot to me because I resist and I'm like bulky and it's not stab. So yeah, like it was a tricky turn. It was a 50-50 in my opinion. I thought he would go for Hyper Voice just because Excadrill would still take a ton from it and his Suicune was still at a relatively high HP. So I go Drill expecting him to Hyper Voice, and luckily he does Hyper Voice, so which is good. Now I can click Earthquake pretty freely and Suicune would die to 2 Earthquakes. So yeah, he goes Suicune here. And my play actually is I can win with Latios now. I just Earthquake and get as much chip as I can on Suicune, and if he kills me, I just go Lati and Calm Mind up, and then at +1, or if he switches, I think +1 Psyshock kill this thing, because this was just max HP, no defense. But if he stayed in, I could just Calm Mind alongside Suicune and then win. He makes the double into Sylveon. I guess expecting my Lati double, but I won safely just by getting damage on Suicune and then going Lati and Calm Minding on the Suicune. Like, Suicune was set up for my Lati, so that's what I was going for. So I just stayed in an Earthquake, and he goes Sylveon, and I get him with that play. Like, I see what he's trying to do. I guess he's going for for a choke on my end, but for me to switch into Lati would have been a choke, so I just stayed in. Suicune comes in, I Earthquake this. He actually reveals Rest, so his Rest Calm Mind's called Sleep Talk. So I go for SD to get as much chip as I can on this, and luckily I get lucky with the Sleep Talk roll. So I click Earthquake now and do 76%, and they pull the Skull the second time, which is, yeah. But I mean, I don't think it mattered because Lati always won the Calm Mind war versus this, so I actually misclick Sleep Talk again, third turn. As I click Psyshock, and I mean, I do no damage, but they do no damage back to me with like Skull, so I could have just Calm Minded up to +6 alongside it, and then Psyshock would have done like a lot and beaten it that way. So yeah, not a cleanest game. Like, we definitely played the start really bad, and we let our Roselia and Vikavolt go down for no reason basically. But Excadrill and Lati came in clutch again, and I mean, I think we used our T-Tar well. We were able to set Sand up 3 times, which is always pressuring, like, because especially when they don't have the best of Excadrill switch-ins. Our Lati set was pretty fun as well, like, and it put in work. And as I said, I went Psyshock because I didn't expect Lati to sweep, and that was a good decision on my part not to go for Stored Power. So yeah, that puts us at 4-1 at the midway stage, which is really good. I'm quickly gonna go over like a mid-season recap as well. So right now, we are currently 5th on the table, 4-1. Our differential is only +3, which we have like the worst differential in the top half basically. But it's decided by wins first. So as long as we win, differential doesn't really matter. And I'm not someone who plays for differential a lot. I try to play it safe as possible and just get the win. So yeah, we're currently 4-1. There's a bunch of teams that are like still undefeated, and there's a bunch of 4-1s, and like their differential's better. So anyone with the same record as me would jump higher. So the best way for me to so the top 4 teams get a bye round 1 of playoff. So the best way for me to go for that is just to keep winning, try to keep winning every week, so that my record keeps me above. Playoff race can still get heated, and my schedule's really tougher now, as I play like the top half of coaches. I play Gammon, I believe I play Cavaliers, I play Dark, I play Tezzy, and I play Kerrigan. So they're all like playoff contenders, or like they're in playoff contention at the moment. Another thing, I just quickly cover how our team's been doing. So Latios, which was the first pick, has come to every game we've played and has 8 kills, and it's only died once, so definitely worthy of round 1 pick. And it's my first time using Latios. I've only used Mega Latios before, so yeah, Latios has been fun. I've run Scarf 2 weeks, then I've also run like Life Orb, Draco 1 week, and then I ran the Calm Mind weakness policy, so it's fun. Dropping Dracos, like, I haven't been able to drop a Draco because I missed one, and the other time I thought he would sack, but he stayed in. So yeah, but Latios has been fun, has been putting in a lot of work, so that's good to see. Excadrill, easily the MVP of my team so far, has come to every game, has 12 kills. Like, he just died 4 times too, but it's basically won me the game every time. I think I brought Sandrush every week, I brought Sandrush every week, but I brought that Subtoxic Protect set versus the Conk matchup, and it still got 2 kills. So like, Excadrill is one of the best ground and steel types. Really good win con, really good breaker. Yeah, fantastic mon. Also first time using it, so been fun. Wickable has come to 3 games and has not got a kill and died 3 times. I've been using it defensively mostly, like it's been Rocky Helmet or like just coming in to help me with steel types, basically steel types and electric types. It's been good with like pivoting and stuff, but it's often just been like my sack. It was like there to check Jirachi one week, it was there to check Metagross, and often just ends up being sack. I don't think I brought webs yet, so yeah, like I don't think my team really needs webs. So, but Wickable still good, and the option of webs is still terrifying, and forces prep, and plus like specs Wickable could be like could have a good matchup later on. So hopefully, like Wickable puts in more work. Then we have Bird Jesus, Mega Pidgeot. Has come to 3 games, only has 2 kills, 2 deaths. Hasn't really done much. Hasn't had the best of matchups really. I've had to run like Sub, Hurricane, Toxic Roost, or like Hurricane U-Turn. Like hasn't had the best of matchups to freely click Hurricanes, I feel, and I've mostly pushed for like a more. I've pushed for Latios and Excadrill as my sweepers / breakers more than Pidgeot. So yeah, I know my friend Sky was upset with me that I'm not using Pidgeot well, but I don't know. I'm trying. It's hard. Me and Xiao has only come to 1 game. Got a kill. Could have gone 2 or 3 that game, but I put in so much work that game, which was an awful matchup versus Raypion. I've been told to like drop this since I'm not bringing it, and there's like potentially better fighting types. But personally, I like my fighting types to be like fast and have U-turn. So me and Xiao fits that, and regen U-turn is actually really nice for me. So yeah. Florges, it's come to 3 games, has a kill, died 3 times, has been defensive mostly with like Wish Tech or Synthesis. Has often been my defogger if I can't spin with Excadrill. So yeah, it's a nice glue Pokemon. Can't really Wish Pass with it because most of my team is like hard to, like they don't want to come in. They'll prefer coming in safely. So kind of hard. T-Tur has been the GOAT setting sand up. It's like the underrated mod, like the hidden gem. Definitely, like stats won't tell it, but the way I use T-Tur is instrumental to my success. If I play T-Tur bad, I will lose the game. So yeah, T-Tur is like the glue. I mean, without this, it's also a really good Pokemon. Just I haven't been able to use it as offensively because I need Excadrill. And if I need Excadrill means I need Smooth Rock on this, and I can't sweep with this because I need to preserve sand to win the endgame. Roselia, the GOAT, has been amazing with the poison point, getting off clutch poison points. Hopefully I'm able, I love T-Spike, so hopefully I'm able to set up more T-Spikes with this. Again, this is not the best choice for a grass type because it doesn't resist ground. So I might drop it, but yeah, again, it's a good check for like water types and stuff. So it's a GOAT, has come to 3 games, has done its job. Reboot, I said I would try to bring it as much as I can, but it's been really, really tough, mostly because I've brought Lati Drill every week, so my spots are limited. I brought it week 5, even though it didn't have the best of matchups because it's Reboot and I love it. Yeah. Wishy-Washy, that's probably, I think, something that has taken everyone by surprise by how good it can actually be. To have that much bulk and offense and have U-turn is great, and like have a super slow U-turn, so you have the momentum on this to click like teleport. So yeah, it's been my bulky water, and it's my only bulky water, but it has put in work with Restock. So yeah, Wishy-Washy is a GOAT. Cursela hasn't really come. I don't see it coming at all. I don't really set webs up, so this is not gonna be like yeah, this is not even a spin blocker. It's too weak defensively. I don't know. Sky told me to get it, but I think this is trash. Sky, your opinions are trash. Yeah. So that's it for this week. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Next week's actually interesting. We're facing a team called Elm Street Darkrai. So as you can see, it's basically like the Battle of the Darkrai, which like Darkrai team gets to keep their name and stuff. Should be pretty interesting. The coach name is also like Dark, and I go by Darkrai on Discord, so yeah, it should be a fun one. Battle of the Darkrai. I believe they have like a Mega Scissor and stuff, so kind of annoying for Sand, but yeah, we'll find ways around it. And yeah, we had a strong first half of the season, and let's hope we can have a strong second half of the season. See you guys, and have a good day.